What was that night like when Piazza hit the home run, Al?
To reflect, first of all, 15 years, I can't believe it, right? I mean, it's gone by quickly. It was a pull of emotions of all sorts, right? We're going from anger and sadness and all of the terrible feeling that we had that transpired, a couple weeks earlier. But I think more than anything else, guys, it was just realizing how important baseball was. There was a fear. I have to admit to you, playing that game back in New York, first game after 9/11, we were assured by Major League Baseball security, and our owners stood up in the locker room after Bobby Valentine met with us, explained in detail with NYPD what kind of security measures, et cetera. I guess ultimately, Michael, it was just baseball initially felt so insignificant. It didn't matter to the reality of life, of course. And, and then the way it turns out, I realized, we all realized in retrospect, hindsight, of the home run that Mike hit, how much it meant to New Yorkers and the feeling of, people actually cheering, and the sadness for a moment disappeared.
Al, take us through those 10 days. September 11th happens, and, of course, September 21st is the next time you play. So in those 10 days, were you anxious to play again? Did you not care if you ever played again the rest of the season? What was going on in your mind in that week and a half?
Yeah, so, Don, I was living in the Upper East Side, as I did for the 7 years with the Mets. And, that day, I'll tell you, the day I would have never have done this. My daughter was her first day of school as a kindergartner, first grader in New York. And we had an off day prior to flying to Pittsburgh on 9/11. And I actually was starting that night, and I can't believe I did it because it was so not me, because I'm all about routine, and the fear of flying game day, and if you didn't make it, what that would have looked like. But I knew how important it was for me to be there for my daughter. And I was on the tarmac, and, the rest is history. We got back to LaGuardia. They told us to get your stuff, and New York airspace is closed, and as we know, at the rest, of what took place, I actually drove up. I was in communication with Jay Horowitz and the Mets trying to get on a flight. Then the Pentagon, and then I called actually our friend Michael, and I stayed with Michael until New York opened. So I prefaced my answer, Don, with, yeah, baseball didn't matter to me. I mean, if you were in New York and you were there, that night I took the Metro back from Mike's place down to Grand Central. I walked up to my apartment, somber to say the least, National Guard everywhere. So, to get back in the routine of throwing side days and working on my cutter and curveball, and guys working on VP and going the other way, oh my God, Don, it was really difficult to ramp it up and make a baseball game significant again.
Now, I've heard Howie Rose, who announced the game on TV, actually said that before the Piazza home run, it just didn't feel like a baseball game. But then when Piazza hit the home run, it felt like a baseball game, and it was normal again. Did you sense that too, Al?
I sensed, it had the sad reality of the pomp and of the bagpipes and NYPD and the fire department and all of the people in uniform being, respected and brought front and center. Diana Ross sang a beautiful rendition of God Bless America, which started all of baseball to start that. After that, Liza Minnelli sang the national anthem. So it had like kind of a postseason feel. Packed house. The fans were definitely into it. But I can concur with Howie. It was kind of a flat game, right? I mean, we were down, and against the nemesis, the hated Braves, and and then it just absolutely changed on the dime against the kid from Queens in Steve Carsey, and the rest is history. And I do like, I was up in Cooperstown for Mike's Hall of Fame induction, and, he does feel awkward and doesn't like the term hero because he really was doing his job. It just so happened, and I'm glad it was our star that was the hero that day, because I don't think the story wouldn't be as cool or as significant if it wasn't Mike who hit the home run.
And
for Mets fans.
I'm trying to remember, too. I mean, you're still mathematically alive. I mean, did it feel after the home run, was it like a 9/11 feel, like New York? This is so cathartic, or does the baseball instinct kick in to say huge win, divisional rival? Maybe we can use this as momentum. Like how do you feel after a home run like that? Is it human or is it baseball?
No. Good point. Good question, Don. Because when that took place, and late in the game, Armando finishes it out, and we beat the Braves. We were close. I don't have the standings in front of me as to where we were. I was starting the next day. It was a Fox game of the week. It was a day game, and I remember, at the very end, I was trying to scoot out as soon as the high fives were made, because we had a huge crowd, because I was, going to turn around and pitch a, whatever it was, a 105 game the next day. And I'm pretty sure, I know I pitched a good game. I'm pretty sure we won the next game. And it really started to get interesting. And I know at the end we had a tough series in Atlanta that really sealed it for us to not make the playoffs. But at that time, we were absolutely in it.